So after we have the initial hearing to open probate, the court will sign paperwork to appoint a person as personal representative. And this is the person in charge of collecting the deceased person's assets, paying their final bills, and then distributing out property to the correct people per the terms of the will, or if there is no will, per the default rules in Minnesota, which is called intestate succession. So after the probate hearing happens, we have this 4-month period called the creditors period. And during that time, the creditors have the ability to put in the court records that the deceased person owed them money. They can put a claim on the estate. And so after 4 months have passed, our firm will check the probate records to make sure that there isn't any claims listed there. If they are, we will let you know right away so that you can let us know if you think this is a valid claim or whether this is not a valid claim that you want to contest. So we will do that search for you and get back to you after those 4 months. After the creditor search happens, at that point, you are free to pay off any of their debts, assuming that the debts are bigger than the assets. It gets complicated if the debts are larger than the assets. So if the debt is smaller than the assets, pay off the debts. Usually it's like credit card bills, paying maybe their medical bills. You might be paying off a mortgage. So you're paying all that off. And at that point, you are also going to be filing any needed tax returns for the deceased person. And so once you've taken care of all these things, it's going to be working on distributing out assets to the beneficiaries. So basically, there's 2 different ways that people can get assets. One is they can get cash, like the assets are sold and you divide cash between the beneficiaries, or the beneficiaries get the assets distributed themselves. So for example, there might be a cabin and son Joey wants to own the cabin. So instead of selling the cabin, we're just going to be giving Joey the cabin as part of his share of the estate, assuming the cabin isn't greater than his share of the estate. So this is something that we want to talk to you about on working out how to distribute assets between the beneficiaries. And it also includes talking to the beneficiaries and figuring out, do they want real estate or do they want cash? Oftentimes, if somebody has a big stock portfolio, that stock portfolio gets a step up in basis at death. So the basis in that stock is worth what it's worth at death. That's the new basis. So at death, let's say it's worth 100. And so if you sell the stock shortly after someone dies and convert that to cash, you don't trigger much of an income tax because that basis is readjusted at death. So this is the creditors period. In my next video, I'm going to talk about preparing the inventory and final account. And then finally, we're going to talk about how to close probate. So stay tuned.